So it has a brew. So I thought I'd talk about the Windows 10 event, or the Windows event, because it was kind of quite interesting, and it was a little bit different. It was kind of similar to an Apple event, actually, in terms of what they announced and how they announced it, and it was quite cool. So Windows 10, obviously, if you've been testing it for a while, you know roughly what it is, although there's some big changes that are coming that Microsoft announced yesterday, so today is currently the Thursday, so it's the day afterwards. They're going to have Windows 10 as a service, so Windows 10 is no longer going to be sort of like Windows 8 and Windows 7 has been, where it's just kind of been an OS you buy, and it's kind of there. You buy the OS, and it will then last for the lifetime of the device. So they'll give you unlimited updates and all other kind of stuff, which is quite good. And in actual fact, I quite like that idea. It's also going to be a free upgrade for anybody that's already running Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, obviously, and even Windows Phone 8.1 who want to upgrade in the first year. So if you upgrade in the first year, it's completely free, which is really good. They're going to move Cortana over to Windows 10 as well, which is good and bad. They're kind of announcing into one big thing. So if you can imagine Cortana running search all across the browser or all across the desktop, that's quite cool. It's also going to have Windows 10 across all devices. So Windows 10 is going to be Windows 10 on Windows Phone, Windows Mobile, Windows Phone, Windows Tablets, and Windows Desktop. They're also going to have a thing called Continuum Mode, which allows you to change the layout between touch and keyboard and mouse inputs. So basically, it dynamically adjusts to what it is. So if you're on a desktop with a keyboard and mouse, you'll have a proper desktop with the start menu, with a traditional start menu, and if you're on a tablet, you'll have the old Metro interface, or the old the interface formerly known as Metro. Also, Microsoft announced some universal apps, so this is quite cool. So they're having some apps that kind of bridge the gap between mobile and desktop. So they're going to have a brand new Photos app, which is going to it's kind of similar to Carousel. If you've used Carousel by Dropbox, it's kind of similar to that. It's going to use SkyDrive, and it's going to sync across all your devices: Windows Phone, Android, iPhone. If you take any photos with a digital camera and you upload them, or you just chuck your memory card in, it can import those for you, which is quite cool. And also, obviously, it'll then import things from Windows Mobile and every other mobile device you have, which is really good. The other thing that Microsoft announced was a thing called Project Spartan. Now, a lot of people have been calling this kind of similar to Chrome, but it's not. I mean, it looks similar to Chrome, but I don't think the engine's pretty much the same as IE has always been. It's kind of like a modified version of what IE Internet Explorer is now, combined with a browser, with kind of like a mobile browser combined. It's going to embed Cortana in it, so you're going to have Cortana and search right there. You're also going to be able to write on the web page, and it's also going to have reading lists. Now, this is kind of stolen from basically Apple, really, in terms of their reading list for Safari, but it's really good. And also there's going to be some, well, actually I think all Chrome apps are going to be run in, or Chrome add-ons and Chrome apps can run in Project Spartan as well, which is what they're calling the new browser, which is quite cool. I don't quite know how they're going to do that, whether or not it's a slimmed down version of Chromium or not. I'm not too sure. I hope they don't go down the Chromium route, because Chrome at the moment is rubbish. A modified version of Chromium is better, but it's still crap. I mean, Opera runs Chromium and it's rubbish. They're also bringing an Xbox app to Windows. Now, this is quite cool. A little bit worrying, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So you can sign into an Xbox app and do the Xbox shit you'd usually expect, so chat to your friends with other bollocks. And you can also record and upload gameplay, but not to YouTube, to its own proprietary kind of Azure-y kind of thing, which means anybody on Windows Phone can access it, and I think if you access it through a browser, you can see the videos. It kind of seems a bit pointless. Like, if you're a PC gamer, or, well, if you are a PC gamer, because that's what you can record PC games, I don't know that I'd necessarily want to upload it there first. I kind of want to upload it to, like, it's certainly not going to be a replacement for something like Fraps, or for, like, a dedicated PVR like a Hopog, because I think it's only going to be 720p and 30 frames a second, but it is quite cool they're embedding it, and it's good to see Microsoft, having that as like a embedding gaming within the OS, which is really nice. It also allows you to do kind of what GameStream does with NVIDIA. So you can play your games from your Xbox to any PC in the house. So if you've got a Windows Surface, if you've got a Microsoft Surface, even if you've got another tablet, another Windows tablet, another Windows laptop, another Windows desktop in the house, if you've got a Xbox game controller, you can play Xbox games on any PC in the house, which is really cool. It's similar to GameStream, but you can play it on any Windows device. Now, this is really cool. Now, I wonder whether or not Microsoft are kind of trying to tie people into this one device area, which is kind of what they're doing, but I'm not too sure. I mean, for me, I know I certainly won't be doing Windows. I won't be having Windows 10 across everything, because it's pointless. For me, I need Android for things, I need iOS for things, and I need Windows for things. So, and I also need Mac OS for things. So, I don't think I'm going to invest all in Microsoft. It would be cool to, like as a normal user, maybe, but certainly not at the moment. And they're also going to include DirectX 12, which is alright. It kind of does what Mantle's already been doing for the past year and a bit, but it's quite cool nonetheless. Microsoft also released a thing called Hololens, which looks, well, actually from a design point of view, looks shit. From a like a technological standpoint, it looks really cool. They've got augmented reality going on, and it looks really funky. You know, as a wearer, it looks great. As somebody that, if you're going to look at somebody wearing it, it looks ridiculous, and it's really cool. Lots of people are comparing it to Project Natal when that came out first, or Project Natal, which then became the Kinect, because when that first came out, it was shit, and it didn't do things you want to do properly. It's kind of like a combination between Kinect and an Oculus Rift, but with some augmented reality stuff, kind of similar to Google Glass, but a little bit better. It's a really cool piece of tech. I mean, would I go out and buy one? Probably not, because it's going to be about £1,000. I probably would much rather have an Oculus Rift. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it comes out and what people do with it, because obviously the developers that get their hands on it, they'll make or break that product. They also released a new Surface Hub. Now, this is kind of like a huge Surface, really. It's just like a wall-mounted TV that comes in 54 and 84-inch flavours at 4K resolution for you to basically do presentations and collaborate and all that other kind of stuff with Windows 10. Which is really quite cool, and also they're embedding Office 365 within the environment a lot better than previous generations. So you can have, I mean, like with the universal apps, you're going to have Office for everything. So Office for mobile will be the same as Office for the desktop, and it'll all be seamless and great and fantastic, which is good. I don't like the way that Microsoft have generally gone in this direction, because it looks like it's going to tie you to one account. I have a sneaking suspicion that from a business standpoint, it's going to tie you, it's going to need your users to have Microsoft Office 365 accounts to log in and all other rubbish. I also have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to tie a product key or that product to your account. So if I log in with my Outlook account onto my Windows 10 machine, it's going to tie that account to that PC with that specific product key, and I have a sneaky suspicion it means it's going to be a pain in the padded ass. I like the fact they're embedding Xboxy kind of stuff in there. I don't know from a PC standpoint, a PC gaming standpoint, that's necessarily a good thing. What I'd much rather like to see is all the gaming manufacturers that make games for PC to combine themselves together and create this gaming centre as an all-in-one thing. Because at the moment we've got about 1,000,001 game centre kind of thing. So we've got Uplay, that's got like an overlay when you play things like Watch Dogs. We've got Steam, which is doing probably the best job of everybody in it, and really I'd like to see everybody just using Steam as their, you know, store and everything else. I mean, it doesn't increase competition, but, you know, there you go. You've then got Origin as well, and then you've got a few extra bits. I mean, you used to have Gafool, Games for Windows Live, which is crap, and, you know, it looks like Xbox is now going to take that over. It's going to be the gaming centre, which is good. I like the Microsoft are taking it by the reins, and I'm sure in Windows 11 it'll probably be, you know, it'll be Xbox Gaming Center, which will be Xbox games and PC games in one huge unified interface, which is good. But, you know, I'd like somebody else to create that. I'd like a proper dedicated gaming company to create that. I wouldn't want Microsoft to do it and dick around with it, because I don't think they're going to do a good enough job. I think Windows 10 is really cool, and I certainly will be trying it out when, well, I mean, I've already got Windows 10 running as the developer preview before these announcements came out, and I'll be running it and seeing what it's like. It looks really cool, and I like the fact that Microsoft are taking this by the horns. There's a few really interesting articles about the differences between Apple and Microsoft and how Apple is stagnating and all this other kind of stuff, which I'm going to put in the link in the description below. I think that's pretty much it. There was nothing else they really announced. There was a few little shits and bits. Obviously, I'll put the links in the description below for Windows 10 stuff from Microsoft and other articles if you look at. Obviously, like, subscribe, favourite, all that other kind of stuff, become a Patreon, and email me at aaron@azzychill.com, hit me up on Twitter at azzychill, and also Facebook azzychill as well. And apart from that, I shall catch you in a later video.